Welcome to this training session. In this particular training or this video, I'm going to be demonstrating to you how you can partition your hard disks to be able to do different things with them. The purpose of you partitioning your hard disk can be for better organization of the hard disks. It can actually be maybe you want to draw boot. Draw boot means you can use Windows OS, Windows operating system on the hard disk, and then you can also use Linux operating system on the hard disk. So it all depends on your choice. So whatever you want to do all depends on you. So what is disk partitioning? It is actually the process of you dividing your hard disk or your solid state drive, which is SSD, into multiple logical storage units. That is what we refer to as partitioning or partitions. And then each of the partitions or each of the partition functions as a separate disk drive, allowing you to actually organize and manage your data more efficiently. Now, what that does for us is that it helps you to better organize your files or data. You can decide to say, oh, this particular disk, I want to keep all my training videos here. While this other one, I want it to run my operating system. While this other one, I want it to do this particular bit, anything that you want to use it for. That is what it does for you. Now, why would you need to partition your disks? Organization of your work or your files. Number two is that you need security. So let's assume one of them is vulnerable to attacks, maybe such as what you didn't encrypt the disks and then somebody lays hold on the sensitive information there. So you can imagine you protecting the other one that's very important to you. Where you have sensitive information, you can just lock them with a special password. And then in terms of the performance, when you partition your disks, you will tend to have optimal performance. Flexibility, it helps you to install multiple OS on them, like I said. Now, what are the types of disk encryption and the disk partitioning? I mean to say, the primary partition and the extended partitions are being used in this case. The primary is actually the standard that can be used to install your operating system. All right. Then while the extended is a special type of partition that can be, subdivided into more multiple, logical partitions. Extenders are being used to create more than 4 partitions on a disk. So when you want to create more partitions on a disk, you are referring to what? Extended. And then we have the partition table that you also need to know about. Now, before we go into this, it's not a problem. Now, we also have the partition table that you need to be exposed to, all right? Now, the partition table is going to help you to understand how these partitioning structures actually are represented. So a partition table is a data structure that stores the information about the partitions on the disks you are trying to work with. And now the partition table is going to help you locate, or is usually you are going to see it at the beginning of your disk, which contains the type of partition, the size, the start of the partition, and then the end of the partition as well. So in terms of the partitioning schemes, we have the MBR, we refer to as what? Master boot records. And then we also have the GPT, which is the GUID partition table. Now, what is the difference between these two of them? MBR, which is the master boot record, is an older partitioning scheme. It only supports 4 partitions only, meaning that if you need to create partitions, it's only maximum of 4 that you can create. And it uses a 32-bit integer. Integer is a value, anything positive or negative, it uses that integer to represent the sector of numbers. And then while the GPT can actually give you a space up to 128 partitions. All right, that's crazy, And then it uses a 64-bit integer to represent the sector, and that is why it is more flexible and scalable than the MBR, because it works with modern architecture. And then we look at how do you partition these disks per se. Forget that I'm here now. How do you partition it? We use disk management, which is a built-in tool in Windows for managing disk partitions. That's what we are going to use right now. So this is the disk management that we are seeing right here. And then we can also go through disk path. Disk path, I will just come here. If I'm working with disk path, I will just go to here. I will type in my CMD. I will run it as administrator, right? CMD, run it as administrator. It opens up. So here, so I can just type in disk path. All right, that is it. That's the disk path. So we can use the disk management or disk path, or we use our gparted, which is actually an open source software for managing disk partitions. This one is usually, we use this one in our Linux operating system more often. So here I am going to go back to my disk partitioning. So I will show you how I got here. Now, how do you do this disk partitioning? All right. There are several ways that you can get to this level that you can conduct the disk partitioning. But before we continue, what is the best practice that you should put in place to do your disk partitioning in a well cultured way? So what you can do is plan ahead of it, and then planning ahead lets you know, do you want to use your MBR or GPT in terms of the schemes. Then number two, use your consistent scheme, the partitioning scheme. Use it throughout your organization. Don't change from MBR to GPT so that it won't cause issues. And then keep the partition very simple. Avoid those complex partition schemes with multiple, nested partitions that you want to keep creating on the same disk and all that. No, keep it very simple. And then you always do what? Test and verify to ensure it meets your needs before you deploy them out. All right. So right now, let me take you on how you can actually do that. So how you can do that is you come here, you do run, type in run, press your Windows key and then type in run. When you type in run, you type in disk in full, disk management, disk mgmt.msc. Hit enter. And then once you hit enter, it opens this page for you. All right, this is the page we were. So right now, I'm going to exit this, and then I will go back to my. So right here, I'm going to. I have it open here. So now to partition your disk, this is my hard disk here. This is my hard disk. So you are going to right click on your hard disk. All right, when you right click on your hard disk, you say shrink volume. Click on it and wait for it to come up. So I have 500 gig space. So wait for it to come up. It's loading. So just wait for it. It's coming up. It's going to take a while depending on the speed of your system. So just hold on while it comes up. So right here. So let's see what we've got there. So it's still rolling. So let me show you other ways that you can use to get there. Other ways that you can use to get there. Here, you type in. Here you type in disk. So you can see disk. So once you type in disk, look up here, you see create and format hard disk partitions. So if you click here, this is another place to launch it from. If you click here, it will bring you here, the same place, right? So that is it there, and then so I'll close that and then go back to I'll close this again, then go back to my All right, so it has come up. All right, so it brings me here, right here. So I am right here. This is it here. So it says total size before shrink in MB. Now this is the total size of your disk. Size of available shrink space in MB. This is what size is available. This is the remaining in my hard disk that is free to shrink. That's what it's telling me right now. This is the only free space. Now, how do I know this? So here you can just go to your, here, if you come here, you will see this PC. Go to this PC so you can see, look at what I have there. That is what is exactly. So right click on this. Now when you right click on this, my disk is full. So go to properties. Then from properties, now look at that 16 here. This is it here. So if we go back to where we were before, or let's see, you can see that's the 16 there, right? So now I want to shrink. I just want only 1 gig for the purpose of this demonstration. So 1 gig in megabytes is going to give me 1204. So I'm going to pick that and then shrink. All right. Let's say 1 gig, I just want to add text files. I just want to keep my text files there, you know. So you hold on again, it's coming up. So we wait for it to come up, and then for those of you that have watched our disk partitioning, so disk encryption, okay, I think it's done encrypting. So this is something else that is not part of the video, but then if you want to learn this disk encryption, the video is there on our YouTube page. So you go there and see how to encrypt it after you are done with the partitioning. All right. When you are done with the partitioning, you go to use your BitLocker disk encryption to encrypt the disk. All right. So that's something else I can actually show you. And after this, we have other videos that we are going to bring to your attention. So let's see how it goes. You know. So we come back and see if we're done. Okay, our encryption is still ongoing, so it's still encrypting right there. So now let's go back and check the so it's still shrinking the volume, still shrinking the volume. So you can also partition your flash drive and all that. So it's done shrinking the volume. So this is it, that's it there. So I will right click on this again and now go to simple volume. I'm not going to explain these all details right here, but if you want details about this, register with us, then we'll take you on our comprehensive class. So here I'm going to go to simple volume. All right, here I'll go to next. That is it, simple volume. So you can see it's been reduced to 1023. And then you go to next. When you go to next, assign the following later. Now you are supposed to choose a later. So if you come here, you notice that you have your C drive, you have this one D drive, there's no other one there, this one is E drive, all right, and then you have, that's it. So the F drive, you can see the system automatically assigns it, so let's leave it there. And then do you want to mount this? Now mounting this means that, let's assume that this is a server. So mounting means that you want this, assuming this is maybe something like 4 terabyte and you want to take out 2 terabyte and assign it to some certain users on your server to be able to be saving their files to that particular place. That is when you come here and then you specify the directory or the location of the server this way. So I don't know, depending on what you do, I will show you how to do all that. So in our next videos, I can show you how to do all that, but for now, let's leave it here and then go to next. Then in this case, it says do not format this volume, but we are going to format, because if you don't format the volume, you might not be able to make use of it. So leave it as it is. So under this label, so you can just say my logical, call it anything, my logical or my files, my files. You can call it anything you like. My file, my files, I don't know, slots, anything that you want to call it, you can put it there. So when you are done, it says enable file and folder compression. If you want to actually compress the files you are keeping there, so you can do that. But for now, I don't want to do that. So I want to perform a quick format on it. So I'll go to next, click on next, and then that's it. So just click on finish, then you are good to go. That's it. It's ready for use now. So you can see it's formatting. So once it's done formatting, if you go back to your system, you'll see that it's been added. So your drive is ready. That's it. Your drive is ready for use. So one more thing that you can do, you can now decide if you want to change the later, if you want to format it again, whether you want to explore, whether you want to delete it, you want to shrink the volume again, that's if it's too large. So this is under extended. Now, like I said, remember that I said it in the beginning of the video, that extended you can use it to create multiple other logical volumes. So if you want to shrink again, but in this case, what do you want to shrink it? Shrink 1 gig to. So you just leave it like that, you know. So that is it. Let's go to explore and see what happens. This is the disk here. So you can copy something. Let's just copy. It's just 1 gig, so it's not much. So let's copy document and something that is, you know, let's show you how it works. And then later we can delete it. So I will come here and copy. I don't know what this is, but I'll copy this and go to the disk. So if I check F, that is it, my file slot. I'll paste it there. So it's ready for use. So this is how to partition your disks to use them for different purposes. All right. So that is it. So if I come back to this PC, I have it there. So now you can decide to, because disk encryption is enabled here right now. So you can say turn on BitLocker encryption and it will turn it on. That is it. And then here use password, so I can just use my password. All right. I'm showing you, I'm using one video to show you two things. So right now I want to encrypt the data that I kept there. So let me show you how encryption works as additional, you know, bonus. So if I say continue, so right now it says how do I want to save. So in this case I want to print it because I don't need it for anything, but I just want to do that, although I'm still going to delete that. So right now I'm going to call it BitLocker. I'll call it BitLocker 3, right? I'll say BitLocker F, all right? F partition, all right? So I will say save to my desktop, all right? So it's been saved. Now watch, I'm supposed to click on next. It's coming up, just hold on, it's coming. That's it. So here this refers to the space that is used, but I've not used anything. So in this case, I'm going to go to entire. So to encrypt, I'm going to, so if I use this means only this volume is 1 gig, is going to, if now what I've used inside the 1 gig, let's go and check what we have used inside the 1 gig. What have we used inside the 1 gig? I just hope it will allow us to exit. So let's see properties. So if you check, we've used 19 megabytes, all right, out of the 1 gig. Now, so if I come back, let's see, just a moment, let's see. I'm not saying that again. Okay, this is it. So now if I check this one, it's only going to encrypt that particular file that is inside there. But if I click on this one, it's going to encrypt both that file and the free space that is still available, all right? That is still available, all right? That is still available right now. So in that case, I'm going to do next. When I do next, then here it's saying best for fix. It's not fixed. Okay, it's actually fixed because it's on my, I cannot remove it. It's on my hard disk. So this one is for USB and other removable drives. So I'm going to leave it here and then I will click on next. Then here, start encrypting. I just want to show you how it works. So start encrypting. Watch, you can see the key will come up right now. You notice that this drive is encrypting. This one, I did not enable encryption on it. So right here, this is how to partition your disk and encrypt it. So anytime I want to make use of the file that is inside here, I have to enter the password before I can make use of it. So if you like this video, recommend it to your friends and your family, your colleagues and your business partners to be able to do what? Partition their disks and use them for different purposes, for security, for better organization, and a lot more that you can do with this. And you can sign up for our classes. You can cyber security, networking, systems administration. You will know how, you master how to use your system. You master how to secure your system. You master how to network. You master how to work in a cloud. You can see it's done. That's it there. So let's go and check. Let's see here. So here, let's take a look. Right here, let's see here. Let's see what we got there. Not there, not there, not there. Oh, we are supposed to look at our Explorer. Okay, it's done encrypting. So we go back to the Explorer. So this drive is done encrypting. Let's see. That is it. So if you come back again to work with this drive, you will likely need to enter the, let's see if it is done. Let me see if it's, or let's see. I don't need that to come up. So I just wanted to see if it's going to pop up. But the next time you are going to definitely work with that drive, you are going to enter your, you must enter your password before you'll be able to work with it. Once it's done, this key is going to close, right? So it's still encrypting. So thank you so much for watching this video. You can recommend us to your friends and your families, and then we'll get them trained. And also watch out for our next video. Thank you for watching.